Hi, this is Dee with Brown Girls Trade 2. Last week, I talked to you about how compound interest could work in your favor with a high yield savings account. This week, I want to talk to you about how it works against you through your credit cards. So, let me show you something. Take a look at this graphic. In July, the Federal Reserve put out a report that says U.S. households now hold $993 billion worth of credit card debt. That's essentially $1 trillion. Now, that is a huge number, and nobody really thinks about a number like that. But what we should do is think about what that personally means for us. What portion of that 993 billion belongs to our household? Also, today, the Fed met and they increased the prime rate again by 0.25%. The prime rate affects credit card debt. It means that on one hand, your savings account will pay you more interest. So, say you have a 4.50% interest right now, they'll raise it to 4.75% interest. Now, what that means is for every $100, they're going to hand you $4.75. What it also means is they're also going to raise your APR on your credit card debt. So, say you have a 19.99% interest rate. Let's just say we're talking about 20%. That's going to go to 20.25%. That means that for every $100 you owe in debt, they're going to take $20.25 from you. Now, on one hand, you're getting $4.75 of interest, from your savings account, but on the other hand, you're handing out $20.25 of interest from those credit cards. Pay that credit card debt off as soon as you possibly can. If you're finding any of this helpful or interesting, do me a favor, like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. You'll receive every video I put out after this. Now, let's get back to these credit cards. Let me give you 5 reasons to pay off that credit card debt. Number 1, it will help you avoid compound interest working against you. Number 2, it will help you reduce interest rates for current and future lines of credit. Number 3, it will improve your credit score for current and future lines of credit. Number 4, it will help you stabilize yourself financially. And number 5, it will reduce your stress and improve your quality of life. We're going to look at 2 different credit card statements. In each of them, there'll be things that I'll point out, the things that are important for you to look at when you're looking at your statement, things that will help you pay your debt off sooner, and things that prevent you from paying off your debt sooner. First step is you have to look at your statement. Now, I know that might sound silly, but there are people that do not look at their credit card statements at all. Now, there's reasons that you want to look at them. One of which would be you could be being charged late fees if you haven't looked at your statement or don't know when your due date is. Another reason could be there are unauthorized charges from, say, an old subscription that you forgot to cancel. Or maybe there's some fraudulent charges. Those kind of things you want to catch early. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is by looking at your statement. The important things that you'll need to look at are what the minimum payment due is. In this case, it's $259.83. The new balance is $18,099.57. You'll need to keep track of when the due date is so that you don't get any late fees. In this case, it's August 8th, 2023. Last month, the previous balance was $18,022.13, and you'll notice that the new balance is actually more than what the balance was in the previous month. I'll show you why that is. It's partially because there were payments that were made on this account of $610. There were no credits, meaning that say you went to the store, purchased something, and then you needed to return it. This is the area where you would see that credit come back to your account. For that month, they made purchases of almost $609 and only paid $610. So you're not knocking much off of the bill. In addition to, there were fees. In this case, I know that that $41 fee is a late fee. And there was interest charges of $37.83. Now, Just mentioning this interest here, that's actually not a lot of interest, and I'll show you why in just a second. So also on this page is the late payment warning. That's the $41 that we saw under fees a minute ago. So you want to make sure that you're keeping up with your payments and paying prior to the due date and certainly not after so that you don't receive a late fee. While we're on the subject of late fees, there may be help on the way. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has a plan that would lower the current $41 late fees to just $8. This would be a huge help to the consumer. Here's a minimum payment warning. Now, this is important. People should pay attention to this. If you look down in the little chart, it says if you only make the minimum payment, it will take you 25 years to pay off that $18,099 debt. And if you spent all of the time to do that, you would actually be paying off $42,792. This is why you want to make more than the minimum payment due. So they give you an example of paying $591 a month. You could pay that balance off in 3 years and save $21,000 in interest. All of this that I've said is if you do not make any additional charges and you're only trying to pay off that $18,099. This is where you do not want to keep digging if you're in a hole. On the next page, I want to draw your attention to the interest charge calculation. So the standard purchases, so if you go out and make a purchase right now on this card, you're going to pay 19.24% interest. And by the way, this is old, so with the interest rate increase, it's going to be 19.49% interest. The balance that they are charging that amount of interest on is only $2,400. This person in this case did a balance transfer, and the larger amount of their balance, the $16,106.73, is being charged at a 0% interest, and that balance transfer rate expires in May of 2024. So if you're going to make additional payments on a card like this, on a balance like this, you want to pay as much as you can, and you want to do that prior to the end of that expiration date of May 2024, because if they do not, this person will be paying 19.49% on the entire balance that they transferred originally. Looking at a different statement, the same things are important. What's the new balance? In this case, it's $2,434.87. The minimum payment due is $74.93, and the payment due date is August 13th, 2023. So again, same things we want to look at from the earlier statement. In this case, we look at the previous balance was $2,576.46. The person made a $250 payment. There were new charges charged to this card of $57.31. There were no fees attached to it, only the interest charge of $51.10. The new balance brings us to $2,434.87. This actually is a reduction from the previous month, but we want to make sure that we're paying extra so that we can pay these balances down sooner. Going to the next page, you want to know what interest rate you are being charged on your particular balances. So all of this balance is being charged a 23.24% interest rate at that time. But again, because interest rates have been raised, this is now going to go to 23.49% interest on the balance going forward. Keeping up with these things will help you reduce the interest that you're paying, help you pay your debt down sooner, and help you get out of debt over the course of your life. We're in the second half of the year. Let's open up those credit card statements, avoid adding any new charges to your card, pay the bills on time, pay as agreed, and avoid any late fees. Let's make the second half of this year better than the first. Thank you for watching. Come back and see me soon and leave some comments and let me know how you're doing with your credit card debt. Have a great one.